Oh my god, everybody. Avengers Infinity War. This is the day after I've seen it. I saw it at midnight. I am tired. Well, kinda. I didn't get up as early as what I thought I wanted to review this, but here I am. And I decided, as you can tell from the title, that I'm going to do a non-spoiler review and a spoiler review. I was going to fit it into one video, but I think that would drag on just a little bit too much. Plus, I don't know, I feel like I need to see it again to do a spoiler review. I really want to, when I talk about my spoiler review of Avengers Infinity War, I want to talk a lot about all the different things that I feel like I couldn't absorb in one viewing, and that is obviously a part of this review as well, but I'll get to that. But oh my god, this film was great. So yes, just to reiterate, guys, for those who are worried and still haven't seen it yet or just are too busy to see it right now, this is kind of like my first impression video, my review with no spoilers. Just, you know, you can only say too much really without giving away spoilers, so I don't expect this is going to be insanely long. But yeah, this is BobaTalks' somehow have to give a review without spoilers, which is very, very hard for me. But don't worry, there won't be any. So Thanos is here, guys. Thanos is finally here to get all the Infinity Stones so we can wipe out half the universe with just the... So the first thing I will say is there is obviously a lot going on in this film. Anyone with half a brain will know that there is a lot going on in this film. So that may be overwhelming to some people. Awesome, of course, awesome. Don't totally forget that it's awesome, but kind of overwhelming on your first viewing to kind of truly absorb everything in. I mean, I would know, I guess, because I'm doing this non-spoiler review and I'm going to see it again later. So yeah. So the movie itself, despite a lot going on, is still a remarkable achievement. A lot of people I know are worried about the film having too many characters, and while this kind of goes into what I just previously said about it being kind of overwhelming, I don't necessarily think that's the amount of characters that makes that the case. It's more the grand scale of the story with what's happening and what needs to be told. It's still very, very cool, and I wouldn't want any characters really left out of it who are featured in the movie. I mean, maybe some people could argue that the film could be even longer than what it already is to kind of fit even more things like this in, but to be honest, the film is long enough as it is already, and not everyone would be interested in a film that is longer than what Infinity War already is, so that would, you know, affect ticket sales and, you know, box office and everything like that. Not everyone, like not every parent would want to take their kid to see over 3-hour movie. Now, I think my favorite thing about my first viewing, and probably still will be, my favorite thing about the film is the characters, and the characters who never interacted with each other before. Now, don't get me wrong, the Avengers themselves were great, but the characters who never like interacted with each other before felt natural, and it didn't feel rushed with their first meetings, despite an impending doom coming to them and having to make it seem decent for the crowd to get into. So, for example, Doctor Strange and Iron Man, wow, they were just brilliant meeting each other, and not to mention the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm about to get onto that. So my favorites, and one of my most favorite things of the film anyway, were the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, as I just said. I just love these guys anyway, and I feel like they had quite a big part to play in this film. Like, rather than Black Widow, for example, who is just kind of there in this film, like, badass, of course, I freaking love Black Widow, but she doesn't really have like a pivotal role as such to play in the film as much as, like, for example, the Guardians did. I loved seeing Peter Parker, Tom Holland as Spider-Man again, and obviously there's only so much you can say without giving spoilers away, but what I will have to say is that Iron Spider suit was just absolutely... Thor was really funny and really cool, played such a cool part in the film. Captain America with the beard is a Captain America we should have always had and should have always been sporting, that kick-ass beard. Obviously, I want to say more, but that I can't really without spoilers. Like, these two characters and the other characters I'm about to mention were obviously awesome. Some played more important roles than others. For example, Black Panther was really cool in this film, but he was just more complimentary to what was going on. Like, he was helpful, but I feel like the film didn't put as much of a focus on him as they did other characters. And obviously with a film like this, with so many characters, you have to kind of be picky and choosy with who you're going to give more screen time to. And even though he had quite a bit of screen time, as I said, he just complemented what was going on at that part of the film when we got to him. I'm actually not a massive fan of Iron Man, but in this film, it made me kind of like him a lot more. And what I mean by that is, I know his character is all about the arrogance and kind of stuff like that, but that's why I normally don't dig him. But in this film, Tony Stark was brilliant. Was very pivotal to the film. Benedict as Doctor Strange was just absolutely remarkable. He was so good, and I'm so happy with how much screen time he got in this film. Obviously, he had to, because Without saying too much, there's that he plays quite an important role in this film, and his interactions with Spider-Man and Iron Man, because those guys spend quite a bit of time together in this film, were just brilliant. This is what I mean by my favorite part of the film, where just the characters who never interact with each other before, well, minus Tom Holland, Spider-Man and Iron Man. But yeah, Doctor Strange was just brilliant. Everyone else was great too, of course, but you know, I could go on forever about stuff like that. So let's talk about the Black Order, because before we talk about the big cheese that is Thanos, the Black Order. So I didn't really care about them too much, if you know what I mean. And that's not to say they're bad, but I only really cared about a couple of them. And if I remember correctly, that was Proxima Midnight and Ebony Maw. And obviously, if you don't know who Proxima Midnight is, she's like the kick-ass lady with like the spear mainly. And Ebony Maw is like Thanos's, you know, you see him in the trailer trying to torch Doctor Strange. Those two I felt like had a bit more emphasis to them, especially Ebony Maw. But this film really kind of only left me feeling, and I feel like maybe the general audience member, caring so much about Thanos, and the others just felt like maybe a bit cannon fodderish. The Black Order were definitely interesting and had good moments with some of the Avengers, and you know, had cool battle scenes and whatnot, but a couple of them, as I just said, felt cannon fodderish, like Cull Obsidian and Corvus Glaive, and especially those two who I just mentioned, like Cull Obsidian. They just felt like in the meantime battle, whilst we get to the big cheese Thanos, you know, another in the meantime battle. Now I'm not saying they're bad at all, I'm just saying they just felt like not so important. They're children of Thanos, apart from the two who I mentioned, who were pretty damn interesting. Now guys, on to Thanos, the big cheese Thanos. He was really good, and I think Josh Brolin did a great job too. I just didn't expect the film to show so much of his motivations. Obviously I thought there would be some, but more or less I thought he'd be this big bad boss like in a video game where he just wants to wipe out the galaxy and is evil for no apparent reason. Maybe a little bit of emphasis here and now again, because otherwise you really wouldn't know what's going on. But apart from that, I thought he would just kind of be like that. And this is what I mean. With so much going on in the film, they had plenty of scenes where you saw that he wasn't just some empty shell, evil for no apparent reason villain. His interactions with the Avengers were cool, like some more cooler than others. Now, what I do like, which I always feel like makes an amazing recipe for a villain, is that he's one of those villains who believes they're doing the right thing, and almost to a degree believes they're a hero. Now, I'm not saying Thanos is calling himself a hero, but when a villain such as Thanos thinks he's doing the right thing by wiping out half the galaxy, then that makes them one of the most dangerous villains. And that is one of the things I think that makes Thanos so compelling. And also, when a villain has a motivation like that, thinking they're doing such a good deed, they're really adamant on doing it right, whereas just killing or being evil for no reason isn't as motivating necessarily than thinking, right, I'm doing this and you're the bad guys and I'm the good guy. And also, he's just not stupid. He also respects his enemies. That's what I like to see in the film. Like, he respected some of the Avengers, and those were cool scenes. And he was just convincing. The CGI in the film was really great too, considering like all of it was like, you know, CGI. But obviously there was a couple of moments where like where a guy like flipped, or one of the main characters I think flipped up, you know, in the air, kind of slow-mo, but also fast at the same time, and you see like the plastic face version for a second, and you're like, okay, that didn't feel so polished over. But yeah, considering all the film was, you know, CGI, that it was just absolutely fantastic, and I think the directors just did a great job at handling that. It's just so cool. The action in the film was just impeccable. It really was. Now, if you're a massive fan of these characters like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, or Iron Man, or anything like that, the way some of these characters complement each other's moves and build up almost this combo attack, like as I keep referencing, like in a video game, it's just, it will make you eat your heart out. It's like, to a nerd lover of stuff like this, it was so cool. It was I'm lost for words. Now, the score was something I noticed that was very powerful in the film as well. Now, obviously in the previous films, the score was like great as well. There were very specific themes for when various characters were involved, especially some very powerful and sincere moments in this film as well. It wasn't full-blown comedy, and you know, when there was different moments, you knew about it through the score. It was just silence, and it just really gave that I feel like music is such a pivotal role of films, because without it, you know, you could put on freaking Austin Powers music and it'd be a completely different vibe. So it's so important to get that right, and I feel like this film, at the right scenes at the right time, they played the goddamn right song. Well, not song, but you know, music, the score, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, everybody, I guess that wraps up my kind of non-spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War. I have to say, go see this film. I'm going to see it again. I feel like if you're a bit more than your general kind of average moviegoer, you'll definitely want to see it more than once, because there is a lot that goes on in the film, and not only just because you will want to see the extra things, but because you feel like it deserves a second watch because it's that good. You'll be seeing it because of the pure coolness of it again. Now, can I compare it to other films? I don't know. Like, I feel like this definitely, obviously, I think this is my favorite, one of my favorite Marvel films. Obviously, it's not my favorite. I can't really think clearly right now of that, but would I say this is like Age of Ultron or anything like that? No. And I know some people hate comparing, but no, Infinity War is in a league of its own. It's great. I guess with further analysis and further watching on my part, I can definitely place it somewhere, but what can I say right now? It definitely deserves the ratings it's getting everywhere. It definitely deserves it. And I feel like with what they did, they pulled off such a great thing. So anyway, guys, I think that is it. Go watch this film. Even if you don't watch Marvel all the time and you're only strictly DC, go watch it. Like, how can you not like this if you're a comic book lover? Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. I tried to not give anything away, but try and give you as much as I could at the same time. So if you did feel like you enjoyed this review and you got this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, why not subscribe for more videos like this? I will be making more Marvel videos throughout the summer. I'm going to try and reformat my channel a little bit to include a little bit more of everything. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait to do my spoiler review as well. So subscribe with notifications on to be sure that you get notified for that video. Other than that, everybody, of course, I have to say thank you so much to my patrons. If you do want to check out my Patreon page, or you're curious what tiers I have and maybe you feel like pledging or maybe not, or just want to check it out anyway, the link is at the top of my description, and I just really thank you for checking it out regardless. Other than that, guys, I have social media. Links are popping up on the screen now. I have a Discord server as well. Invite links are in the description below. We talk about everything nerdy there in the BobaTalks family. We'll talk some Avengers Infinity War as well. But yeah, guys, that is everything, I think. I'm going to go watch Infinity War again now. So I'm going to have a kick-ass time. You should watch it so you can have a kick-ass time. Apart from that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.